Hi, my name is Elizabeth and I'm the founder of Race Think Dinner Workshops. And today from my Race Think Dinner corner, I'd like to talk about why the phrase "I don't see color" is a racist red flag. Now, I first want to tell you a story about some two girls. One is white and the other one is black. Now, both girls were dreaming of having a doll. They've been seeing this advertised on the TV, and on Christmas they were promised to get the doll, which they did. A white, very beautiful, blonde hair, blue-eyed doll with very beautiful colors. Now, do you notice something about this? What is wrong about all this? Especially for the black girl. Now, the black girl's image of a doll, an image of herself, does not exist. And in her school as well, the education system does not take into consideration about this girl's existence. The media in itself has a default white image to be seen everywhere. Now, the two psychologists, American psychologists, conducted a landmark study in the 1940s, Kenneth and Mamie Clark. And in this study, 63% of the children that they interviewed preferred playing with white dolls over the black dolls. Now, this is a very sad affair, particularly because these children displayed a pungent disconnect from dolls of their own skin color and assigned negative connotations to the darker skinned doll. So, do we see color? Yes, except my friend Renata. Renata was asked by the mayor of her town to give a speech about how the positive results that the integration program has made in her community. Her first statement was, "I don't see color. I don't care if you are pink, green, or yellow, because color does not matter to me." All I could do was to sigh. I dropped my eyes because I did hope that nobody was going to see it, to see the pain and the disappointment. You see, Renata says, "I grew up in a very diverse background as a young girl. I never saw color, and I honestly don't see color now." You see, a little bit information on Renata's background. She comes from the upper class, Dusseldorf, grew up in a highly conservative community. The phrase for her, "I don't see color," is an explanation that she is not prejudiced and that she embraces diversity. But what is the underlying truth here? Many people do not understand that this is one way of avoiding to discuss the racial problems. Many of my African people too have bought in the story of "I don't see color" by the white people narratives, and consider that this is some sort of a compliment to make them also feel well. But at the end of the day, racism is what causes the problematic efforts in implementing diversity and inclusion environments. "I don't see color" is a real nice bubble. But if you are not blind or colorblind, then you can discern and recognize one skin color from the next. To say "I don't see color" is just the opposite, because people who enjoy racial privilege close their eyes to the experiences of others. And how can you fix something that you don't see or believe in? Failure to see and acknowledge racial differences makes it difficult to recognize the unconscious biases we have. It is critical that we must recognize the differences. We all don't like cactus, roses, Mercedes-Benz, strawberries, etc. There are differences all around us. What makes these important is how we go about with them. We have to first recognize that each of us, no matter what our color, have preconceived notions and expectations about different racial groups. Color blindness silences voices of the people of color, disregards their culture, history, and neglects privilege, and makes whiteness the default, the well-meaning colorblind approach, and is actually counterproductive to solving racial issues. Racism has not been eradicated, but rather has changed and become more covert and insidious. In order to begin the evolution past racist ideology, one has to first recognize the limiting beliefs and the generalizations they hold about other groups. It is okay to see color. However, decision making should not be based on these characteristics. If we want to deconstruct the system of power and privilege based on our skin, important discussions about the deep-seated racial bias that each of us hold must be addressed. At the Race Think dinner, we provide a platform for white Africans, blacks, and people of color to share their divide experiences with white privilege. The Race Think dinner seeks to address the societal inequalities experienced by Africans, blacks, and people of color. Revisiting Rene Edo Lodge's famous work, Why I No Longer Talk to White People About Race, we would explore discourse from an African, black, and people of color's perspective. Whereas Robin DiAngelo's book, White Fragility, will guide us to show how and why it is difficult for white people to see and understand systematic racism and its impact on the other cultures. For reservation and inquiries about these vital points, you can contact me via my email or to get yourself in the waiting list for the next upcoming Race Think dinner workshops. I'll be delighted to connect with you.